Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Modi with OddsJam, and there were so many new, exciting updates coming out with the OddsJam team that it's a little bit overwhelming, making my head spin a little bit. But not only has OddsJam released a player prop app that we have been hyping up recently, OddsJam Props, we also OddsJam just released a new update to the website with a bunch of different filters that you can add directly to your OddsJam Positive Expected Value page. It's incredibly helpful. It's an amazing tool, being able to just filter all of this stuff. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to bet some MLB player props using these new filters while also using the OddsJam app. So the percent that I've kind of looked at for MLB player props is like 3%, 4%, 5%, depending on availability. I see about 6 to 7 plays above 5%. So I'm going to make my limit, my minimum percentage, 5%. The sportsbook that I bet it on, it doesn't matter. I can bet it on any of the sportsbooks that are available. The sport, as of right now, these are all MLB, so it doesn't matter. But just to show you the power of the filters, I'm going to select all, and I'm only going to have MLB markets showing, MLB player props showing. In terms of markets, I just want to bet player props, right? That's the only data that I want to see. So I'm going to remove alternate markets and main markets, and I'm just going to show player props. The date range is everything is going to be for today because player props generally don't post this early. The game doesn't matter, any game. The minimum, maximum odds doesn't matter. Market width, we all know market width is incredibly important, so I'm going to have the maximum market width at 35. So here we go. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different props show up that meet every single one of the parameters. So no longer do you need to go and look to make sure that it meets the market width and then it meets the EV percentage and that it meets everything. We can just go ahead and add that to the filters. And then when we're done, you just click clear all filters and then you start over again. So it's amazing the amount of just how helpful and then how quickly you can get some bets in by using these new filters. Another thing that is really cool. So this first prop, let's look into it. Chris Bubic over 4.5 strikeouts. OddsJam line has it at -109 with the vig removed at +105. Market width is at 31. Check. Everything looks good. EV percent is all the way up at like 10%, which is pretty insane. You rarely see stuff that high. But if it's a true outlier and he's been trending above this amount, that would make it a good bet to make. So in order to get an accurate look at where every book is pricing this market at, all you need to do is just click this little button here, and then it pulls all of the major sports books and what they have odds priced for this specific one. What I want to do, I want to view the event page because I want to see where every single sports book does. These just kind of show the top highlights, but if you just want to a quick glance at what every sports book is pricing odds at, just literally click this little button here and it shows below. Another thing that's really cool is it drags you down directly to where your market you're looking at is. So you don't have to scroll down. It takes you exactly here. So it's just the amount of updates that are coming out are amazing. They're really helpful. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. But so Christopher Bubic, looks like DraftKings has it at +125. The OddsJam line has it at -109. Bet Online, another sharp book, has this at -109. So I actually trust these two numbers over the other ones, over these other books. So this to me checks the box of a clear outlier because the sharper books, obviously the OddsJam line being the sharpest of all of them, and Bet Online is another good book that we use to kind of use as a quote-unquote true line just to confirm certain thoughts. So everything looks good from a math and from an outlier perspective. Now let's look at the OddsJam Props app. So again, the player historical data isn't going to take precedence over the math and over the outlier and all that stuff. But it's a nice tool in your toolbox to have to confirm the bets that you're placing really are positive EV and are good bets. So I literally just type in his name, Bubic. What we're looking at here, we want his over strikeouts. So let's see how he's been trending. So only 4 of his last 13 games, which you would think is bad. But if we go to his last 10, 4 of his last 10, which makes it look a little bit better. But the real kicker is, if you look at his last 5, he's hit this in 3 of his last 5 games. So I actually think that this is a good bet that is worth taking because looking at his most recent stats have the implied odds at -150, but we can get it, as you see here, +125 on DraftKings. So I think that this is worth betting. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it in for the calculator. For player props, I don't bet above 4% of my bankroll, so I'm going to go ahead and round this one down to $100. This is going to be a $100 bet. Kris Bubic over over 4.5 strikeouts at plus 125 odds. So I'm already logged in to DraftKings. So let me just go to MLB. I need to go to the Royals game, Kansas City Royals. I need to go to pitcher props. I'm looking at his strikeouts over 4.5 plus 125. Perfect. This is a $100 bet. Place bet, and we are good to go. So this is going to be my first of these 5 strikeout props that I'm betting. I'm going to look into all the other ones and see if they're worth betting. So let's get into it. So I'm just adding this to my bet tracker. $100. Click save. Now let me just refresh this and make sure that the odds haven't changed on anything. And nope, they are all still there. So that's perfect. This next one, Chris Flexen over 3.5 strikeouts. Again, plus 125 odds. Market width at 33, which we know is below 35 because of the width. EV percent is at 6.45, which is your profit margin. So I already made $10 on this bet here, $9.50 on this $100 bet. Now let's see what my profit margin is here. So it's about 6.5%. So for every $100 bet, I should figure to make about $6.50 on this one. So I'm already up to $16 betting positive EV with OddsJam. So everything checks out there. Now let's view the event page and let's see where all the markets have this priced at to see if it's a true outlier or not. And as we can see, it scrolled down exactly to the bet that I'm placing, and plus 125 odds on BetMGM. The 2 sharper books have it close to even money. So check in terms of math and discrepancy. So again, let's go to the OddsJam Props app. And now we looked at Kris Bubic. Now we're going to look at Chris Flexen. So let's type in his name. So he has gone over this in about half of his starts of the entire season. He's gone over also half of his last 10, and he's gone over in 3 of his last 5. So the odds that I got it at were plus 125 on BetMGM. And no matter how you slice it, whether it's the full season, whether it's the last 10, the implied odds of how he is trending is below the odds that I'm actually betting it at. So this is another positive expected value bet that checks all 3 of the boxes. So I need to go to the Nationals-Mariners game. I need to go to pitcher, player props, strikeouts, Chris Flexen over 3.5. And in terms of unit sizing, let's see. This is going to be another $100 bet. So I've already made $16 in expected profit just from placing these 2 bets. And there's still a ton more to go. So again, add this to my bet tracker, click save, and we are good to go. So that is my second bet for now. So again, let me just refresh this. And it looks like all 3 are still there. So I will look at this one as my last one for today to not have this be a 45-minute video. Josh Winder under 3.5 strikeouts. So this one isn't under. The other 2 were overs. And let's look into it. Let's see. So market width at 31, check. OddsJam line with the VIG removed at roughly even money, plus 100, check. FanDuel has it at plus 112, which equates to another over 6% positive expected value. 6% profit margin, again, which is awesome. And so if I end up placing this one, and if it is an outlier, if he is trending above this below this number in this case, then it'll be over $20 that I have now made just from 3 bets using OddsJam. So if you're just curious about how much money you can make using the OddsJam software, you just have to think about your bankroll, and you have to think about how many bets that you're placing over the course of a day. I have made $20, over $20 on 3 bets. So if you're placing 10, 15, 20 bets a day, that's over $100 in profit a day using OddsJam. Multiply that by a week, by a month, by a year, and you can start to see how much money you can make. So let's look at this one and see where everything is pricing at. So again, it drags it right down, which is amazing. So is Josh Winder under 3.5. FanDuel has it at plus 112. So this is one I actually will avoid. Bet Online has it closer to the FanDuel line in the other books than the OddsJam line. So this to me shows me that this isn't a true positive expected value play. This is not a true discrepancy. So this was actually one that I'm going to avoid. So I'm just going to leave it with these first 2 bets. Kris Bubic over 4.5. Chris Flexen over 3.5. I am leaving this part in of the bet that I avoided to show you that not every bet is something that you should just blindly take. You should look into it at least a little bit. And I think it's helpful, hopefully, for you guys watching this to see the logic of bets that I do and don't take. So these are going to be my 2. I would recommend tailing them. You can hit me up at my Twitter handle, modehigh_Matt, to let me know you're tailing. Other than that, please remember to like the video, comment, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, share with your friends. But that's all I got for you. So I appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one.